So, how do you build a relationship? Good content. Let's go a little bit more grassroots than that. Let's not say content. How do you build a relationship?
Good communication, good trust.
Communication, trust, right? What else? To relate, you need what? Well, I'm going to throw some words up here, and then I'm going to have you guys add some in. Passion. Passion is a word for me that gets me connected to you. If your company is trying to sell me a service, I need to understand how passionate you are about what you do. Anyone who's ever seen me always says, Jen, you light up when you start to talk about this stuff. Well, that's because this is my passion. So it's easier to buy and sell if you're really passionate. And you have to get passionate about what your clients and customers need. If you're a nonprofit, you have to have that passion for what your organization is trying to accomplish, but also why people are coming to your organization, why they're turning to you. Okay? So personality. One of the things I find so often missing in so many startup, do-it-yourself social campaigns is that there's no personality. They're just trying to throw stuff out there, right? Exactly. And do you guys have a personality? Yes, absolutely. Do you think that logo says that we have a personality?
Yes.
Do you know that logo was part of our, basically, just to give you an idea, and this is where you look inward before you start going social, is that personality there has to come out. And I had somebody once say, you know, your logo is too kitschy, it's too playful. And I said, well, great, because those are the clients that I want.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. So that's really important. Clarity. The clarity here comes in both sides. I want you guys to be clear in what your outcomes are from these tools, especially if you're designing particular campaigns. But you also need to be clear about the business that you're in and the passion behind it. So many startups and small businesses that I find try to do too many things. I did. I started my business my junior year of college, and 20-something years old. I think I could do everything, be everything to everyone. We can't. We are not the right fit for everyone. And it took me a long time to understand that. And it's really important that you understand that when you're doing your social, because if you've got too many messages out there that don't tie back to the passion and personality here, then it's not going to work for you. Okay? And I see the head nods, so this is good. I'm like everybody's. The other thing is you have to realize what you're an expert at and enjoy it and promote it. Okay? That's one of the reasons why people are going to start to listen to you and follow you. And then the last word I love here is understanding. Understanding what your clients are going through, what your customers are going through, their pains. Okay, especially for those of you who are in a B2B, there was a great book I read years ago called Selling to the Pain Spot.
Yes.
Yep, have you heard of that? And one of the things is I don't want to tweet to your pain spots, but I want to understand what you're going through every day so that I can say, this is how we help you. And that's part of understanding the clarity and having the passion for your clients. So does anybody else want to throw any other words up here? Yes, no, maybe? I'm sure I missed something. Wow. Yeah? Devotion. Devotion and commitment, we'll put it that way. Because once you start one of these items socially, right? I always tell people social media is a marathon and not a sprint. Okay? You have to be committed. And when there's a seminar beforehand, they were talking about some things earlier, and that's one of the things you have to realize, which tool is going to be right for you and your audience.
Relevance. Perfect,
thank you. What did you say?
I said relevance.
Relevance, thank you. Great word. Perfect. All right, so I've broken this down into two ways. We're going to talk about social media from the big idea perspective, and then we're going to talk about it from the day-to-day. So inevitably, I always get a call from people saying, okay, I have this really big idea. And then I have to ask the questions of, how does it tie back into your business? And by the way, guys, there will be some formulas at the end for tracking. So one of the things that I wanted to mention is that Yes, social media lends itself to the great big ideas, okay? And here is one of the great big ideas. I used this recently because I had seen it at the Small Business Summit here in New York, and I really loved the story, which is that this particular company had a product. Has everybody heard of this?
Yes.
Has anyone? Okay, or a brush. Okay, so they talk about how many of us have Listerine strips or mint in our... Exactly. So one of the things that this does is basically they presented, this guy came up with this product, and he was having a really hard time explaining it to people because it had to do with bad breath and different things. So instead, he explained it to a class in college, and one of them said, you know what, this would be great for YouTube because you can make fun videos, really explain it. Now, how many of you have thought about making fun videos to explain your product or service? Excellent. Okay, cool, fun stuff. But the cost to develop their videos, as you can see, was pretty low cost. But one of the things that everybody inevitably asks me is, you put the video up on YouTube, big idea, fun. How do you get people to watch it?
Engagement.
You got to go to people like this, influencers, right? That's one of the things that you want to do. So when you think about it, this is a great place to start. So before you come up with the big idea, you may want to identify some of the influencers. Does everybody know who's here?
Guy Kawasaki, the tech guy on the bottom, I see him around a lot.
He's here he's a Ramon Ray, he's a friend of mine, but I wanted you guys to see someone who was local as opposed to, you don't always have to see an influencer as being Oprah. It might be someone more local to your business or market. Okay, like Rob Levin from the New York Enterprise Report. He might be considered an influencer for your audience.